Hello, member of the AAT. I thought I'd talk today about motivation because not only because it's a new year, but also because there's a 31st of January deadline coming up, and that's always worth discussing whether how motivational that is. The UK's tax deadline for tax returns for various individuals is the 31st of January. You have to get the form in and any payment by that time, otherwise the fines start at £100 and get progressively worse. Does that motivate? Well, if there was no deadline and if there were no fines, one suspects that those tax returns would not be getting in. But my kind of experience, as it were, and talk to people in accountancy practice, is that it's not a great motivator. It doesn't really inspire people. So if you're looking for inspiration for your studies or inspiration for something else, maybe these outside world threats, deadlines, fines, things like that, however you think about them and how you think about them will make a big difference, in fact. But those kind of outside structures may not be as effective. Let's talk about inside structures, as it were, or not structures at all, but just stuff that's coming up from within. I was trained as a coach by a chap named Michael Neal. One of his favourite sayings was, "I don't need a motivational pep talk to have sex with my wife," or maybe it was make love to his wife, but I can't remember which. But you see, that comes naturally. If you've got a hobby that inspires you, that comes naturally. There's an inner motivation to that. Now, most of us go through life with a certain amount of external things we kind of better get done, and we have that internal motivation. So the trick really is often to see how the world is, see how you'd like to have your life or whatever, and have that inner motivation for that. And then that inner motivation gets you past the various obstacles and deadlines that you need to meet in order to get where you want to be. So let's give you an example of how an external structure came from me, got turned into a motivation to finish my AAT. I had 2 exams still to do. And then the AAT decided to kind of abandon, I think it was the 2010 syllabus, and then move to the 2013. And it just seemed to me that that would be the moment, without analysing too much what the consequences would be for missing that deadline. It just seemed to me to be the moment that said, let's get on about it. Now, that was my own made-up thing, but having had that kind of propulsion that came up from within, I got going. I did one of the most structured study and revision plans I have ever done, mainly study plans actually, to get this stuff done in the appropriate schedule. So that became, the external wasn't my motivation. I wasn't thinking I'd better do this, or I'm something that I use to say, hey, it's the moment to get this done, and to pull something up from within, which got me. So I hope this gives you some insights. I'm not digging in. If you've got a real motivational issue, you can ask for coaching by me, and I'll happily help. But hopefully this has given you some sense of where you need to be looking to get that motivation up. Or whether there are occasions when it's just not in you to continue. Now that's different, and don't make that decision quickly. Making that decision immediately after you failed an exam, even if it's your 4th fail, isn't the moment to do it. It's when you've got a certain centeredness inside you, you'll be better able to make that decision. But much of this motivation to me is being aware that what you want is something within you, not something outside you. Okay, thanks for listening.